Good afternoon and welcome to SAIT Newsfile. I'm Irene Tagama. Taranjot Vining will have a look at the latest highlights later. What can we expect?
Yeah, the Flames are back in action in Calgary after a long 6-game road trip. Record got shattered in the NHL, so that'll be fun to look into. And the NFL is just ramping things up closer to the playoffs.
Wow, that's great, Taranjot. We will have a full forecast with Chelsea Kavanagh later today. But first, here are today's top stories. Students learn about building in several programs at SAIT, but they are also seeing construction firsthand these days. Several parts of the campus are getting a remodel. As DJ Todd reports, many of the upgrades address the accessibility issues.
It is in the initial phase of a multi-year project to redevelop the campus center. Following a partial closure on August 1st, only the wellness center, including the gymnasium and the fitness area, will remain open for students and staff. One of the early concerns of the construction is the lack of accommodations for handicaps, especially when it comes to the wellness center, as the only entrance available is full of stairs with no handicap accommodations. SAIT recognizes the issue at hand, but says the problem is only temporary.
So while it's definitely a concern for SAIT, it's also one of the key driving factors around why we need a new campus center and why the redevelopment has actually started to take place.
SAIT encourages any individuals directly impacted by the lack of accessibility contact accessibility services to opt out of any campus fees that aren't being used by them. SAIT has always taken the health and safety of students very serious, and although one of the driving factors to the campus reconstruction is the current accessibility issues, the initial scope for the project is approximately 4 years, and for some students with disabilities, that couldn't come fast enough.
Not the most, newest campus in the world, which obviously nobody's fault, but I mean, just like, any other building in Calgary, you could always improve the wheelchair accessibility.
Even though there's a lot of problems with the current situation, there's also a lot of good coming out of the reconstruction. SAIT is dedicated to promoting health and wellness for its students moving forward with the improvement of its campus facilities. From SAIT Newsfile, I'm DJ Todd.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says Ottawa is not looking for a fight with Alberta over the province's proposed sovereignty bill, but adds that he will not take anything off the table. His comment came the morning after Alberta Premier Daniel Smith tabled the bill. On Tuesday, the UCP government proposed the Alberta Sovereignty Act within the United Canada Act. The province says that if passed, the act could be used to stand up for federal government interference in areas of provincial jurisdiction, including private property, natural resources, agriculture, firearms, regulation of the economy, and delivery of the health, education, and other social programs. NDP MLAs voted against the first bill reading of the bill, saying the legislation would create uncertainty in Alberta's economic future.
It's very clear that Danielle Smith and the UCP want to give themselves dictatorial powers. That includes they want to be able to circumvent the authority of other orders of government. They want to cause chaos and distress, which is already driving a large number of people away from Alberta.
Any act that's going to say we're going to cherry pick which laws apply to, which federal laws apply in Alberta is some sort of opt-out clause that doesn't exist in our federation. And look, I grew up in the Lougheed era when I saw Premier Lougheed, take swipes at the federal government over legitimate grievances that the province had, and the Prime Minister of the day worked it out with the Premier of the day, but inside the context of a strong federation and a stronger Canada.
The subject is expected to dominate the discussion at the legislature during this session. 14 Métis communities are threatening legal action against a proposed constitution that would allow the communities to have self-governance. Ratifying the Optimesiwak Métis government constitution would turn the MNA into an official government with 4 branches and would subdivide the territories of the Métis Nation into districts with their own council. The 14 Métis communities and settlements, including Fort Mackay, Lac Saint-Anne, and Association and Lethbridge Métis Local 2003 have opposed the constitution. Inflation is on the rise, and that means prices have skyrocketed. It's not just consumers who are feeling the heat. Business owners are also looking to save the money while delivering the same service. Ethan Montague has been covering this story for us and joins us from the newsroom. Ethan, that must be a difficult time for local businesses, isn't it?
Yeah, Irene, it's very difficult for small businesses to keep up. The Gummy Boutique in Kensington has suffered because of its choice to import unique candy from around the world, and shipping costs on imported products are the highest they've ever been. Inflation has increased by almost 7% in 2022, but is expected to cool off going into the holiday season. Increased demand for international orders has also contributed to costs and wait times, leaving customers wondering what happened to their favorite treats.
You know, it's been really tough. We're a small family-owned business. Our margins are pretty tight as it is already, and we're in Kensington, which is one of the most expensive areas in Calgary. So bridging that gap between what our margin is, we don't have a lot of room for error. So it's been tough.
You can see, Irene, that it's been quite tough to stay sweet in these trying times.
Thanks, Ethan. That was Ethan Montague reporting from the newsroom. Many residents of northern Alberta were shaken up last night when a series of earthquakes rolled through the region. The largest registered 5.6 on a Richter scale and shook the homes of Northwest Peace River. Two previous owners of the 5.2 were also felt by the people in the area. Witnesses say it sounded like a freight train moving through their homes. And those are today's sub-stories. We'll have your full weather forecast after the break. But first, Chelsea Gaffana has a look at what's going on in Calgary this week.
Are you ready for the holiday season? Well, buckle up because the Holly Jolly events are kicking off this weekend. Heritage Park's Once Upon a Christmas is back from now until December 18th. Support a great cause at the Hoops for Hope basketball event on December 3rd, hosted by Islamic Relief. Children 16 and up, with or without disabilities, are encouraged to come participate. Want to change the narrative around masculinity? Come down to YYC Entrepreneur Connect for the Real Men Breakfast this Saturday at 9 a.m. The event is an opportunity for men from all walks of life and ages to come together and find support. The Calgary Shrine Center is hosting a children's breakfast with Santa this Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Admission is free or by providing a donation. Glow YYC is back to light up your life. Come down to Stampede Trail this Saturday at 1 p.m. to see the twinkly lights, delicious food, and live entertainment.
Well, it certainly is not a day for any outdoor activities today as we see a deep freeze out here in Calgary. Now let's take a look at the rest of the country right now. So right now Vancouver is pretty good. The west coast is looking pretty warm. We're seeing some sun in Vancouver, so maybe one last surf or two. Edmonton and moving in is a little bit colder. Edmonton especially 21, not great, but we'll take the sun while we can get it, I guess. Regina as well got a snowfall warning, but Winnipeg is going to see some clouds, so not too bad. Let's take a look at the east. So over here, Toronto's not too bad right now. We've got 3 degrees, so we're above zero, always nice. And moving on up, it gets a little bit warmer. St. John's is looking great right now, 20 degrees and sun. Now let's take a look at what's happening down under.
Palm Springs is a pleasant 21 degrees. Barbados is seeing some rain, but still giving us a hot and humid 28. Cancun and Honolulu are both hovering around 28 degrees, with Mexico expecting some angry thunderstorms. Orlando is blooming at a nice 23 degrees, but Vegas is lost freezing at 17.
Like I said, Calgary, we are seeing minus 19 right now, and that's not even including the wind chill. Yeah, we do have some sun coming around and a little bit of cloud, but again, those winds, 13 kilometers an hour coming in from the northwest. And we are going to see some sun coming up in the next few days, but again, snow is back as it always is. Now let's take a look at Alberta. So at the moment, Fort McMurray and Grand Prairie are pretty cold at the moment. They have a wind warning in both areas and extreme cold warning. So get ready for those minus 40 temperatures with the wind. Pretty insane. As we head down into the south area of the province, it's a little bit better, but not much better. Let's take a look at the 5-day. So tonight it is going to get almost to minus 30, but luckily the weekend is going to get a little bit better. Saturday we've got some sun and minus 7. I can't even believe that, to be honest. But let's take a look at sports with Taran Jot after the break. He's got our Red Hot Flames queued up and ready to go on SAIT Newsfile.
I used to hear voices. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I don't matter. Walked around in circles, didn't know where to go. Until I found my purpose. Through people that helped me live a better life and build a better future. Now I can finally see that I'm able, capable, and worthy.
Come and learn the fast-paced world of television production. Find your passion to write, shoot, edit, and direct news, sports, and dramatic productions. with industry standard technology and the best instructors in the business. SAIT's television production program teaches you everything you need to know for a career in broadcasting. This is television production. Come and dare to be on air.
And welcome back to SAIT News File. Taranjot Vinning joins us now for a look at the latest highlights. Man, there's a lot going on in the sports world right now, isn't it, Taranjot? Yeah, the Flames came back to Calgary after a season-long 6-game road trip. Alex Ovechkin shattering a record. The NFL is ramping things up ahead of the playoffs, and the Raptors keeping things rolling at home. Wow. Yeah. The Calgary Flames were back in action last night against former Flame Matthew Tkachuk and the Florida Panthers. The Flames kicked things off right away as Dylan Dubé gets his 4th goal of the season to make it 1-0. Just about 6 minutes later, the Flames would get cooking on the power play with Jonathan Huberdeau scoring to make it 2-0. Later on, defenseman Rasmus Andersson walks in and lets a wrister go from the hash marks and makes it 3-0. In the second period, Brett Ritchie would catch Sergei Bobrovsky off guard and make it 4-1 off a sharp-side shot. Late in the third period, Tyler Toffoli would unleash a rocket off his stick and make it 6-2, with Andrew Mangiapane making it 6-2 just minutes later. The Flames would ruin Matthew Tkachuk's return to Calgary in high-scoring fashion as the team improves their record to 10-9-3 off a tough night from Sergei Bobrovsky. The Grade 8 freight train keeps rolling as Alex Ovechkin shatters the all-time record for most goals on the road. Ovi broke the record midway through the first period of Tuesday night's game against the Vancouver Canucks. Ovechkin got the night started by knocking home a rebound to tie the record and then launched a one-timer in typical Ovechkin fashion to break the record. Ovechkin is chasing a bigger record at the moment, most goals of all time, and is 101 goals away from shattering that very record. With the 2 goals for Ovi, he adds to his already spectacular all-time goals scored total. He sits in 3rd place all-time with 793 goals and is ready to tackle the record set by the great one, Wayne Gretzky. The Toronto Raptors took down the Cleveland Cavaliers with some added spice as Pascal "Spicy P" Siakam and the Scotty Barnes returned to the starting 5. Pascal Siakam didn't miss a beat as he drives down to the point and gets on the board off a falling shot. The Raptors would start a 3-point barrage as OG Anunoby would knock one down from deep. Later in the second quarter, Scotty Barnes would keep things going, getting a 3 of his own. Pascal Siakam would add to his total, grabbing a huge corner 3 with the shot clock at 0. The Raptors are rolling at home, having won 8 of their last 10 games in Toronto. They now have a record of 11 wins and 9 losses and sit 6th in the Eastern Conference. In some NFL action, the Philadelphia Eagles took down the Green Bay Packers in emphatic fashion. Philly got things going thanks to a punch-in from 5 yards out by Kenneth Gainwell. A minute after that, the Philadelphia Eagles would get things done on defense as Reed Blankenship picked off an errant pass from Aaron Rodgers to wrap things up in the game. Jalen Hurts would come up clutch for the Eagles yet again and throw 2 TDs in the second half to lead the Eagles to a 40-33 victory. The Eagles improved to 10-1 on the year and sit first in the NFC East. Meanwhile, the Packers go down to 4-8 and sit third in the NFC North. In the Brother of Love, it's cold and that's sports. And yeah, wow. Well, Philly's pretty cold right now, but then again, it's pretty cold here as well. Chelsea, would you remind us again about what's coming for the next 5 days?
Well, I can definitely see the newsroom is under no cold warning. I have already shed the layers in here, but it's going to get better this weekend. Yay! The last time we see sun forever, I swear to God. Yeah, I need to fire up a Hallmark Christmas movie and then some hot chocolate. Or curl up yourself in a book, and yeah, and thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys soon.